Hi, we are Group 47, and here is our Common 100 group project. Part of the crowd is the power of influencing individuals with a means of pressuring them to conforming to the universal behavior and thus following the crowd. And our research question is that if a person is faced with a choice of keeping the environment clean, do they do it of their own accord or do they require a crowd to initiate the action of picking up the litter and to luring them into following the action? Our hypothesis is that if an individual sees a small group of people picking up garbage and depositing of it, they are more inclined to pick up a piece themselves compared to those without any crowd to influence them.
The procedure is that we leave several items of garbage, empty plastic bottles, for instance, on the ground in front of the crowded area, in our case, the cafeteria. The items are in the pathway of the subjects and several meters away is the garbage can. For the control group, we observe how likely it is for an individual to pick up the piece of garbage from the ground and throw it away without any type of social triggers to encourage them. For the experimental group, 3 of us will pick up the garbage first and see if any individual will follow us and pick another piece and dispose of it. One of us will be some distance away to observe the reaction of the crowd and record it each case. We will have time limit for the experiment, and that's 3 minutes. To ensure the same possibility of person picking up the garbage, we will carry out the experiment only during the rush hour near the dinner time at the cafeteria. Also, this way, subjects of experiments are always randomly selected.
So for our results, we had 30 subjects, 15 control and 15 experimental. The control group, 2 of 15 people picked up garbage, and the experimental group, only 9 people of 15 picked up garbage. During the control experiment, only 2 of the individuals picked up garbage on their own accord. That shows that at UVic, only 13 of 15 students have the initiative to keep the environment clean. This might be because they feel it's not their responsibility and therefore not their problem. On the other hand, during the normal experiment, the number increased from 2 students to 9 students. One could conclude that this was due to the fact that 3 of us were picking up garbage that was located around the can a few meters away. We observed the test subjects were often seen looking at the crowd first. They became aware of us picking up garbage and proceeded to pick up the bottle positioned in their pathway only a few meters from us. The results are as we expected and are consistent with our hypothesis. Our hypothesis states social triggers set by having a crowd to initiate the actions of picking up garbage helped encourage others to follow via the power of crowd.
Limitations. The limitations on our project were that students were unaware they were participating in an experiment which possesses the possibility that they did not notice us picking up garbage in time for them to pick up the bottle. The power of the crowd might have not been the only reason for students to pick up the garbage after us. There might have also been other factors that contributed to students in encouraging to pick up the garbage. What do these results mean? As our study proves, people tend to base what is appropriate in a given situation by examining what others are doing around in their given environment. Any individual can be lured into carrying out an action as they normally would not be inclined to do or normally do in their daily life by placing a social trigger. As humans, we are social animals with instinct that tell us to conform to our peers and our environment. Thus, the power of the crowd ultimately taps into our social insecurities of being original individuals. This is why social norms exist in our society, and most individuals tend to blindly follow these norms without questioning them simply because everyone else is doing the same. This is the power of the crowd, and as we frequently hear, everyone tends to go with the flow.
And the ways these results can be useful is that it shows how effective the power of the crowd really is. And this goes much beyond our experiment. Our experiment was a simple test on UVic students on how eco-friendly they can be, but our results show the true effectiveness of the power of the crowd. Any kind of groups, corporations, etc. can easily use this power to efficiently, effectively promote their product and influence people to purchase and use their products. And our hindsight is our experiment was a very small-scale effort to capture the mindset of a fairly large population. If you could enlarge the experiment or effectively eliminate or even minimize the limitations by having a more structured experiment in a more confined place where the garbage is more visible to the public, the results can be much more accurate. However, if we think that the experiment we chose and the way we carried it out worked effectively and quite smoothly, and we are quite satisfied with our project and our results.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. This is our COM 100 group project, Group 47. Have a good day.